He's a second-generation owner who took a local family business and turned it into an award-winning regional powerhouse, recently opening the 11th store near Rochester, New York. We'll hear from Michael Fiacco how he merged heritage with a modern vision to build old brick furniture into a 2023 Retailer of the Year. The FAM podcast starts right now. Did you know that 86% of customers buy from the first business that responds? And if you text back very quickly, that number jumps to over 90%. That's why Podium's AI employee, Jerry, is a game changer. Jerry never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and never puts in a 2-week notice. He's always on, responding in seconds, so you never lose a lead again. Turn missed calls into texts, capture more leads, and close more deals, all with Podium. Want to see how it works? Get a demo today at podium.com/fam. Podium, because speed wins sales.
In the mattress world, a no at checkout means a lost sale. That's where American First Finance comes in. We help you say yes to more customers, even if their credit isn't perfect. With fast setup, tailored solutions, and support every step of the way, you're not just offering a way to pay. You're inviting them to Yesville, where more people get approved and customers can take home the mattress they need today. Visit AmericanFirstFinance.com to get started.
For the first time ever, top retailers can carry the luxury mattress line one of America's top sleep retailers has kept to themselves until now. Introducing Prana Sleep. Crafted from 100% natural materials featuring luxury latex quilted directly into the top panel, it's a feel no competitor can match. Born from decades of retail experience, Prana Sleep delivers premium performance, customer loyalty, and unmatched sleep satisfaction. Your competition is going to hate selling against Prana Sleep because nothing compares. Apply now at pranasleep.com.
Welcome to the FAM podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Michael, welcome to the FAM podcast. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, so our buddy Dave from Sherman's said he made a trip. I was teaching an AI course and he was part of it. And he said that he made a trip as part of a nationwide group, a performance group, out to visit you. And he was really impressed. Okay, so I'm going to give you a chance to brag on yourself. When you have these events, like these brand builder events and these performance groups, it's like opening the kimono and like they get to critique you. But if they're going to give you a compliment, what would somebody notice that Old Brick does that might be different or unique? Brag on yourself a little bit.
Well, the one thing I heard a lot during that group was that, so we're a very different business in that, we're a non-commissioned like sales floor, and like our culture is a little different, and everybody said, hey, everybody's bought into your culture because we have a culture of low prices, we work as a team, low pressure environment, our signage speaks to that, our prices speak to that, and our employees speak to that. So I heard a lot of the culture itself is everybody's bought into it, which is, we need that, especially when you go into these new markets like Henrietta that were just opened, and you're trying to get 20 new people to buy into the culture. So that's the one thing and that dates back to the old owner of Old Brick. He like instilled that in me when I bought the business from him. He's like, hey, you got to stick with the culture, which sometimes becomes difficult to do because it's different, but it's something that we live and breathe every day.
So we're wrapping up on the heels now of Sleep Summit. And looking back, we talked a lot about culture. We actually had Russ Robertson, who was a former Walmart executive, one of the few people left that worked directly with Sam Walton. And we talked a lot about culture, and it's sort of like this hollow term for a lot of people. When you're buying the business, you're buying Old Brick, and we'll get into the story about Bennington and Old Brick and how it all came to be. But when you bought the business, what was the culture? What were the words that he put around it, or the ways that he communicated how to keep the culture alive?
So Henry was very much, everything's team focused. So our sales floor, when you walk into our store, it's ingrained in the local customer in the Albany market that, hey, we know that they're not a commissioned salesperson. So when they walk in here, the consumer is pre-trained to know that, hey, they can work with anybody. Their prices are their prices. There's not a lot of haggling within our store because the furniture business has gotten to the point where there's a lot of market up to market down going on. What we call we call other stores the or stores because they'll give you financing or they'll give you a discount. Like we're not the or store. We tell people we're like, hey, here's our price and here's our financing, and then that's what we do. So Henry definitely instilled lowest price, transparency to the customer. Our advertising percentage is very low. We always spent more money on service than we do on advertising, which he always thought servicing the customer was a better way to get advertising. So, they all go hand in hand with each other.
What do you mean you spend more money on servicing the customer? How does that play out?
We have 4 techs on the road every day, almost in the greater Albany market, like into Vermont, Massachusetts. So we spend a lot. He would always say, hey, I'd rather put a point towards payroll of service techs and service than I would towards like TV marketing or direct mail marketing, because he felt like the word of mouth with service pays off more dividends than spending it on actual advertising, which, we do spend a lot of money on advertising, don't get me wrong, but we definitely bought into his service mentality.
That's probably something you can measure too. I mean, at least in reviews, like if you have 4 techs on the road, the people, when they write reviews, they tend to mention people by name. So you can probably quantify some of that.
Yeah. We can quantify our techs and they're actually paid. I mean, our techs are bonused on closeout percentage, like they want to close out on initial contact services. So we track services and closing them out on initial contact versus having to go back, and they're paid off of that too.
So it sounds like from a culture standpoint, it was taking what Old Brick was built to be: lowest prices, customer first, no commission, getting everybody bought into that, so that the customer is essentially like onboarded. They know what they're getting into, and they feel comfortable with that. So you sort of magnetize them, and then just living it out and not kind of straying to chase the heroin hit of discounts and percentage lowering and things like that. The game.
Yeah, and that 100%. And believe me, there's times like I had a rep tell me a week ago, oh, you need to switch to commission. I'm like, no. When business softens up, everybody wants to make changes. You just kind of got to stay the course. You gotta stick to what you're good at. There's cycles and the business is cyclical, and you can't chase the next, like you said, the next hit, sales hit. You got to stay the course for your customer, because at the end of the day, it becomes a better experience for your customer. They're more relaxed, and our repeat business is strong. Like we track all that. And is it harder going into new markets? It probably is in the beginning, but you just kind of got to build that culture and build and train the customer.
All right, so let's go there for a minute. You're in Rochester now, opening your 11th store. Like it's happening. It's 3.5 hours away, roughly, from where you are. What's that been like, and how do you kind of get people onboarded into the culture? Like, what are some of the first things you do and say and show them?
Yeah, they see we got a lot of. We end up hiring 10 salespeople and a manager to start there, just to start. A lot of them have backgrounds with other stores, mattress stores, furniture stores. They see our pricing structure immediately, and they're like, so they kind of get it on the pricing because they can see they know the business, but they're a little weary in not being a commission-based business because that's what they're used to. We have to guarantee all our salespeople money up front. We don't have a draw against them. We actually literally pay them. It's basically a salary. We guarantee that money to them. So, they come in relaxed in that aspect, and that they know what they're going to make. They're not like chasing a draw. Like you go to a lot of furniture mattress stores, you're chasing a draw, especially in the beginning. And when business is tough, that can get even tougher. So, it's easier to buy in, but it's a lot of upfront costs for us, to be honest with you.
What do you say to somebody who's like, no, people are coin operated?
Wait, what's that?
What do you say to somebody who says, no, people are coin operated?
What do you mean by that? I don't get it.
Like they're money motivated.
Oh, like I own a laundromat, so when you said coin operating,
you own it right now?
Yeah, I'm in the laundry business too.
I love it.
They are money motivated. We do have, so they work as a team. So they are paid on the store itself. So don't get me wrong, they're paid on the store, but so they are incentivized. They're incentivized on protection, on mattress sales, on the general sales of the business, but they're a team. So they work as a team. So they're there to help each other and help the customer to the best of their ability. Because some people are better at mattresses, and some people are better at custom order upholstery on my floor. And they just want to give the customer the best experience they can give them. So they work as a team in that way. So they're not chasing each other. Let's put it that way.
These are some of my favorite companies that have a true team culture. And you watch it and it's like, man, they're stepping onto the court playing pickup basketball, and they know where that person's going when they're cutting the lane, when to dish it out to the wing and, you know, take a three, or when to throw an oop. It's really fun to watch. And I think it's going to be really difficult to do that if you have something that's really competitive, commission based. But man, it creates an amazing experience for customers. I see it at Sam's Furniture in Northwest Arkansas. It's like the largest furniture store in Arkansas. And man, you walk in and like, these guys are just dishing. It's so fun.
So they work a similar way.
I think I actually don't know 100% about the business, but the vibe there is like we're all helping each other out.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good experience for your customer. It's it's a quality of life for the salesperson too, because I know, because I worked outside New York City for a while, and I worked on some competitive sales floors down there, and you had to work Saturday and Sunday no matter what, and you had to work every holiday. And you had to work probably 50 hours a week to make what you wanted to make. Sometimes you had to work 60 hours a week to make what you want to make, because you can't afford to miss certain days. Your customers are coming in on certain days. So like our salespeople don't have that. If they're off, they're off, and they'll say, hey, so-and-so can help you. I'm off, but anybody can help you. And I gave them the information. So you don't have to feel like you're missing business. It's just the quality of life for the salesperson, and tends to be better too.
What was it like? Your mom, Denise, she started Bennington, and she was buying or taking furniture on consignment, and she built that business. That was in the 80s, and you ended up buying the business from your mom and then buying old brick. Like, take us back to your mom's operation, because I want to understand the culture of Bennington and then merging these two things.
Yeah, so my mother was a traditional furniture store. I mean, she started in the late 80s. They were like, they used to get peddlers permits. They used to pick up trailers of furniture in North Carolina, bring it home, get peddlers permits, sell it on the side of the road and sell in hotels. And then whatever was left, they would sell out of warehouses in Albany. She got tired of that, and then opened her own store in Bennington, which is in Vermont. It's the most southern tip of Vermont. So it's like a 40-minute drive. So she drive out of Albany into Bennington. And that was a 3,000 square foot store. She got two of the distributors, one of them she worked with, to just give her the furniture on consignment for the first year. That's how she got in the business. And when she paid them back, she was allowed to go, So two distributors one was C&D Distributors. C&D Distributors is the parent company of Old Brick. Was the parent company Old Brick, and the other one was Spiegel, who she worked for. And that's how she got into the business. That's going back to like 87, and 3,000 square foot store turned into like an 8,000 square foot store, which turned in, she bought a farm like 10 years later on the other side of Bennington. And she tore down the cornfield and built the store that's there today. And that's in like the late 90s she built that. And she
How big is that? That's cornfield.
That store was 12,000 square feet when I bought her out back in 2007. I ended up putting an addition on it until like 2013. It's 18,000 square feet now. She had a 7,000 square foot racked warehouse there too on that property. She also has a duplex on that property, or there's a duplex on that property. So she did all that on her own from a 3,000 square foot, rental on consignment, and she just kind of grew that business over the years. And she did very well with it. She tore the cornfield down. There was an old duplex in front that she converted. The town made her convert the duplex because it's from the 1800s. They said, listen, you can put a furniture store there, but you got to fix up the duplex. You can't knock it down.
Wait, there were duplexes in the 1800s?
Yeah, well, yeah, there was.
I don't know why duplex seems like such a modern installation.
Yeah. So she did that. And then in 2007, it was right before the financial crisis. She convinced me in 2006. She just wanted to retire. My mom retired when she was 45, which was, I tell people that and they're shocked that they can't believe how. But she had me very young, and she started in the business very young. She started furniture business when she was in her mid 20s. She just did it on her own. And she retired at 45, and very smart the way she did things.
What did she do when she retired at 45? I mean, because you're hustling for 20 years and building a business and fixing up duplexes that the city makes you address. Like, what did she do in her retirement years?
Florida golf. She loved golfing. She loved Florida, so she did that forever. She actually just moved home recently. She got a little. I think she got tired of Florida. She got tired of the insurance. She told me really down in Florida. But that's what she did. She just moved. She was down there a lot anyway, so she moved down there. So in 2007, I bought her out, and then I started opening a bunch of stores from like 2007 to like 2017. I opened 5 more Bennington stores and 1 Ashley store. And then in 2019, Henry called me and said, "Hey, I want to retire. Do you want to buy Old Brick?" Because I kind of I know Henry from over the years. We're in the same buying group. And I hinted to him, "Hey, I would like to buy your business one day," because I lived in the Albany market. And he called me. And that's kind of how I ended up at Old Brick.
So how many stores did he have? So you had 5 Bennington stores and 1 Ashley store. How many stores did Old Brick have?
Old Brick had 2. He had Albany and Schenectady.
So you decided, were they large format stores, or what was it that made
So the Albany store is like, the Albany store when I bought it was like 50,000 square feet, like 48,000 square feet. The building itself is like 80. So he was warehousing out of here. Schenectady is like a 45,000 square foot showroom. It's an 80,000 square foot building. The downstairs is another warehouse. He had 3 warehouses when I bought him. He was doing about 23 million when I bought him. He was a little bigger than I was. He did more out of the 2 than I did out of my 5 at the time. But Albany's a bigger market. And then we came to an agreement in 2019. I closed on it during COVID because we agreed on buying it pre-COVID. COVID happened, and it was a little tricky during COVID to get the funding. But as we came out of COVID, the financing got good with COVID. It was a little bit like you didn't realize what we were going into, so it was a little tricky to buy it. I was a little nervous, but there was incentives. Like the first 6 payments from the SBA were paid during COVID, so it kind of worked out pretty good. I closed on September of 2020 on the business. I closed on the business in 1 building in Schenectady, and then I had an option to buy the building in Albany in 5 years at an agreed upon price that we agreed on in 2019, which I closed on last week, and that worked out really well actually.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
Just real quick to connect the dots. So number 1, I understand that. How did you fund the growth of your business when it was Bennington?
Real estate. So like I bought Sofas and More in 2010. I opened up a store in Westover, like just a rental. I rented a store in 2000. As soon as within 3 months of taking over for my mother, I opened a store in Westover. That was a rental. I rented a building in Westover, which is Mount Snow. Then I bought Sofas and More in 2010. But I bought the real estate, and I just gained equity over time. I refinanced the real estate. I got some cash back. I bought up the shopping plaza in Queensbury, New York, which actually paid. I bought a shopping plaza in Queensbury, and I ended up taking some of the space that I had in my furniture store, and I divided it up. I got 2 more tenants. The value of the real estate almost doubled in Queensbury within 2.5 years just on my rental roll. And that helped me a lot because I was able to get a lot of that money back. And that helped me finance the purchase of Old Brick.
So you're just what my financial guy calls like return on equity. You're just using the equity and.
Yeah. So, I own multiple shopping plazas. I have like 14 different tenants. So that when you can pay yourself a good rent and you have tenants paying your mortgage, the banks tend to like that. The values of your properties go up, and it just allows you to do things. In the rental, my furniture stores are in some of these buildings like rent free because of my tenants. So that's really been the trick for me.
Is that how you got into the laundry business? You bought
No, I got into the laundry business because actually my father-in-law when I met my wife, was in the laundry business, and I was intrigued by it. And actually one of the landlords where my laundromat currently is, he always calls me to try to go into his properties, right? But he's got these weird properties in these like tougher areas. I'm like, listen, that's not a great area for a furniture store, but I see this laundromat you got down the road from me, like, because I live on the border of like Latham and Watervliet. Watervliet's like a city area, Latham's like a suburb. I'm like, if that laundromat becomes available, let me know. He called me literally 4 years later and said, hey, I'm not happy with the operator that's in there. Do you want it? And I took it. That's how I ended up in the laundry business.
How many laundromats do you have? Just one?
Just one. I got one. It's actually a great laundromat. It's like a mile from my house. It does a lot of volume. Like, I gutted it. When he gave it to me, he wanted the operators in there out of there because they were in there for 25 years and they did nothing to it. And it was like beat down. And he had a nice plaza in this like inner city area, but he had this one laundromat that was beat. So he didn't re-sign their lease. And what's funny is when I moved in there, the people were mad. It's not funny, but they put concrete in all the pipes. So yeah, they weren't happy. And so I end up gutting it anyways, making it brand new. I will tell you, it is wildly successful. I do well with it. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so hold on. They put concrete in the pipes. Like they were
mad
kicked out of their own business.
They were mad at the landlord because he refused to re-sign them. But the landlord was like, half their machines don't work. They don't take care of it. The facade's broken down. He wanted them out of there.
That is a gangster move right there.
Well, that's the best way to get into the laundry business. You want to find an old beat up one because a lot of the infrastructure is there, and the infrastructure is costly in the laundry business. So,
what other random businesses are you in, Michael?
I do own a recruiting company with a good friend of mine that we do recruiting. He helps me with a lot of my recruiting. That's kind of why I got into it. So I own a recruiting company with him. And then it's all real estate. Really, a lot of it's real estate. Yeah.
All right. So fast forward. Here you are, real estate, laundry business. The Michael Fiacco empire is growing. You bought out your mom. She's retired, going to Florida. Mom's back home. You're opening up your 11th store here recently. Tell us about the business side of it. So let's talk mattresses first. So your furniture and mattress. Walk us through your mattress side of the business, because a lot of times I noticed over the years, sleep shops were doing really well. And then the furniture stores caught on and they realized, oh my gosh, we need to get our balance of share up on the mattress side of the business. The margins are great and we can drive a lot of the marketing side with the mattress business. Whereas furniture is like, do you like it? Does it look good? Well, walk us through your mattress business.
So my mattress business is 23% of my overall business. I mean, it was instilled like on the Bennington side of the business that it's extremely important because some of my stores in Vermont are 30% mattresses. We cater to second homeowners up there. So we were always in stock. As soon as this is our time in Vermont, like October to like February, you got Mount Snow, Stratton, Killington, Okemo. You got all these mountains and everybody from Long Island, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, they're all coming up for the winter. So they all want to sleep comfortably and they want furniture like set. So it was ingrained at an early age. My mother was always heavy in the mattress business. So we give a significant portion of our showroom floors to mattresses. I would say we give, my new store in Henrietta, the showroom's 75,000 square feet. The mattress gallery is 7,500. So you're getting 10% of the showroom floor is mattresses, and I'm expecting to do 20 to 25% of the business to be mattresses there.
How do you get people, if they come in looking for furniture, transitioned over to the mattress department? Is there a process or a...
Yeah, so we got bed match with Kingsdown. Kingsdown is definitely one of our... Kingsdown and Tempur Sealy are our two biggest brands that we do business with. They've become pretty close to each other in terms of volume. So I would say 9 out of 10 people are on that bed match machine. We're low pressure. We're a low pressure house, so it's not like we're pounding people and giving them 4 different prices before they get out of the door, like the mattress store. So, I wouldn't say we have any high pressure tactics. We do have a couple of very aggressive. We have a very aggressive private label brand that's priced very, very well. So on the low end, we're there. And then we carry all the high-end luxury, brands that you need to do the business, to get your volume up.
With so many people having second homes and maybe being of a certain age, do you do well with adjustable bases?
Yeah, we do well with adjustable bases, and we stock a lot of luxury mattresses. We're in stock on Tempur and Pewterrest Black and Heirloom. We're in stock on a lot of this stuff because, especially up there, they'll call you and say, "Hey, I'm coming and I want it tomorrow." Oh, if you go David, he was just in my warehouse. He probably saw my warehouse. They probably, when they walked through the warehouse, there was significant amount of inventory in there for mattresses. Mattress companies do a good job of turning them fast and getting them to you in 3 to 5 days, but 3 to 5 days isn't fast enough in the mattress business. Today or tomorrow is when people want it.
Yeah, I always tell people whenever somebody picks up the phone or shoots you a text or hits you on your podium number or whatever it might be, they're trying to solve that problem right now. I mean, It's not a duress purchase necessarily, but there's a window of time they're dedicating to solving that problem. They're like, I'm going to give my business to the person that can help me get rid of this pain immediately.
Yes, 100% in the mattress business. I mean, the furniture business as well, but really in the mattress business, people will wait a little bit for furniture. They don't want to wait for mattresses.
Oh, let's go to the furniture side of things and just like all the craziness with tariffs. Like, how are you thinking about that? How does it affect your business? Any adjustments?
I mean, there's definitely constant like talks and pricing adjustments. I mean, honestly, I think the biggest problem is the way it's affecting consumers, and that there's just like, I was just talking to my buddy who runs Tough Shed. He's high up with Tough Shed, and he's like, how's business? And I'm like, it's up and down. It's just like, I think when there's something new in the news every day, the consumer is just like, I just think it's making it more difficult on them. In terms of like dealing with the pricing and the changes and everything. I mean, we're all in the same boat, so it's not like it's the end of the world. Like you're getting calls from vendors. I think the vendors are going more crazy than we are because they're having to make changes so often. It's driving some of them insane. And I don't see how this doesn't have a negative effect on manufacturers, domestic and abroad, and retailers, because there's so many changes that anybody on the margins has got to be struggling.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's just that whiplash effect. I mean, the thing about consumers, especially in the furniture and mattress business, it's not the most frequent purchase. And you come in and you're like, I don't know what the prices are. I haven't bought this in forever. So I think there's a little bit of that. And also, I've been seeing that people that have money are spending money. A lot of people made a lot of money during the COVID era, and they're flush with cash and maybe retired at 45 like mom.
I think it's more of the noise in the economy than it is like they come in the pricing. I don't think that if we go up, if we just stick to the tariffs and we're done, I don't think the pricing is going to stop consumers from buying, because prices in furniture have been so low and so depressed for so long that if a sofa goes from $499 to $599, I really don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's more of the noise in the media, the noise in the economy, and people just want to get settled. People just want to get settled and want to know where they're at and just kind of move on.
What's the message from Old Brick in advertising? What do you say out there? Is it pretty consistent? Do you have the same promotions over and over again? Are you trying to assuage the fears of the consumer in any way? What's that like?
I mean, we're 10 to 30% off. We're 10 to 30% less every day. I mean, that's our message. Like, you'll never see a sale. You'll never see the word sale in any of our advertising ever. I shouldn't say ever. So we do these. I have one thing that came from Bennington that I forced on the Old Brick people, and it's our 6-hour event. It used to be a 6-hour sale. It's a 6-hour event because we can't say sale. But other than that, we're running the same thing, like long-term financing, clearance. I mean, we'll discount our clearance, but and then we're 10 to 30% less every day. So, because we're not changing our prices. It's just who we are. We don't change, so that's kind of like our message. Now we do have our 6-hour that we do. We used to do it I got it from Sofas and More in Rutland, Vermont. He got me to run it. You run it right before April market and right before October market. And it's just like one of these sales where it's just like, you close the day before, you retag, you reopen. The owner of Sofas and More, Norm, taught me, he's like, hey, this is a good way to get rid of furniture before you go to High Point. It's a good way to just get rid of crap. So we started doing it on the Old Brick side, and it has been wildly successful because it's like the 2 times a year we'll do something. So we got one coming up in a couple weeks.
And so you close down the store, retag everything, open it up, you call it a 6-hour event, you advertise it, and you move a bunch of stuff that it may be collecting a little bit of dust.
Yeah, basically anything that's in the warehouse that's in our we call it the reload section. So it could be like a return, it could be a damage, it could be anything. So that stuff all works its way out to all the stores. So all that stuff, there's legitimately stuff at cost or below cost, because this is stuff we just want to be done with. Oh, and it's basically you pick up an extra Saturday on a Thursday. We do it on a Thursday night. So that's the goal. You pick up a Saturday on a Thursday, and it's always around the High Point markets.
Love it. Okay, so you're at 11 stores now. Where are things going? What's the future look like?
I don't know. Rochester's interesting to us. I wouldn't have gone there for no reason. So I bought that real estate. That real estate came with 9 acres. There's a pad site available with it. That's the biggest building I ever bought. It's 94,000 square feet. Yeah, so I think that store should turn into our number 1 store. That in Albany. It should be an Albany type store. I want to give that store its 3 to 6 months, see how it does. I have goals on where I want it to get to within 3 to 6 months. I feel like we got to train that consumer out there on who we are. So it's going to require us spending money on advertising, spending money on employees, and just kind of getting them to where we need them. So the short term is to answer your question, let's get that place where it needs to be. Long term is we'll be going somewhere. I wouldn't have invested as much as I invested out there to not continue. No.
Okay, so let's imagine that I'm a consumer in the Rochester market and I don't know the name Old Brick. First question that comes to mind is, where did the name Old Brick come from? Let's go there.
That's a good question, because I asked Henry, and I don't even know if Henry knows. He told me it's an old ad agency, because they were C&D distributors. So the lineage of Old Brick is they're C&D distributors. So they were always wholesalers from the 60s. Henry's father-in-law was a wholesaler. He started in the 60s, and he sold to retailers. So that's why their margins were always so low, because they're used to, as wholesalers, selling low. So that's their lineage. I think when they opened the store, when they went, and they also went from being wholesalers in the East to retailers, they had these old brick buildings basically that they worked out of, like they're their warehouses. I think one of their marketing agencies just kind of bumped into it and said, hey, why not Old Brick? I mean, he didn't really give me a good reason other than Schenectady store is a locomotive factory that was built in 1909, and it's an old brick building. And then they were also in Troy, New York, which is an old factory. A lot of old factories in upstate New York, and they're all brick. So, their lineage were in these old brick buildings. I'm sure that's where it came from.
Yeah, maybe it was like, some of the best strategies I've seen, and if somebody's going to open a new mattress store, is find where a mattress store is going out of business and just open a mattress store there, because people are familiar with locations. Maybe there's something to it, like the old brick buildings, like that's where we go to get furniture.
Yeah, and what you just said, there's something to be said to that, because I bought Ippolito's Furniture in Meredith, New Hampshire. That store hasn't missed a beat. I moved in there in June, and it's just been, we didn't miss a beat there. And we didn't miss a beat there because they've been a furniture store since the 70s.
Did you reskin them as Old Brick?
Yeah, so we did a little retirement sale. We ran it ourselves under their name, because the new signs went up for Old Brick like 3 weeks ago. So now it's an Old Brick store. And we haven't missed a beat. That store hasn't, they just haven't missed a beat. And I do find a lot of my, like Rutland was a furniture store we took over. Queensbury was a furniture store we took over. Pittsfield was a furniture store we took over. When you take over existing furniture stores that have been there forever, the startup is easier. Like Henrietta was a Gander Mountain that was vacant for 6 years. So it is going to take, I know that store is going to take time. It's going to take a little bit more time. It's never been a furniture store, so it's just going to take more time and money, but it is in a very good location, so I think it will come.
I think part of the message here, too, if anybody's listening in your Schenectady neck of the woods, if you're interested in selling a furniture or mattress store, you may want to call Michael. He's in the market always. Well, man, congratulations on all the success and on opening a 94,000 square foot operation in Rochester under the Old Brick banner. You guys are rocking, man. I can see why you got the Retailer of the Year in 2023. What's like a piece of advice you might give to somebody that's in the business? It could be on the retail side of things for sure.
Just watch I would say nowadays, you just got to watch your overhead. If you can control, anybody that's in this business, those are three major components to this business. You got your employees, your occupancy, and your advertising. Two of those are harder to control. Your occupancy is easier to control. If you can own your real estate, that I would always suggest that. That's been the single biggest thing for me. I compete with one of the smarter retailers in the country who's, they own a lot of real estate and they've done very well at it. There's no doubt. It's just a very smart way to grow your business if you can do it. It can get capital intensive to do it, but if you can do it, it's the way to do it.
And it sounds like creating that culture everywhere you go, infusing it and onboarding people into who you are and reminding them of that and creating that team effort, that team environment. I love that.
Yeah, definitely. And Henrietta is a big test for us because New Hampshire was a test, but they were all like, it came with a team, it came with a operation, it came with a warehouse staff, sales staff. Henrietta is all brand new. So, these are good tests for a company like us. We needed to do something.
So one more challenge in front of you. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, outside of the business stuff, furniture and mattress business, owner of Old Brick, a laundry business, real estate portfolio. What do you do for fun?
I got 3 young kids, so they're at those ages, 10, 14, and 17. So they're all very athletic and into sports and stuff. So I just enjoy. My wife and I enjoyed just kind of being with them and doing a lot with them. We travel a lot with them. We take them everywhere. We took them to Italy over the summer, which was a great trip. That's it. We like to travel and hang out with our kids. That's what you're supposed to do at this
Yeah, it's fleeting. It's fleeting. Well, man, congratulations on building an incredible business. I know you've been in the spotlight off and on throughout the industry, and I can see why. You're a great guy. You got an amazing business up there in New York, and thanks to Dave from Sherman's for flagging me like, hey, you should really talk to Michael. So it sounds like you got a good crew there behind you.
I think we're going to his place maybe this winter I think we're coming up. We're going out to his place. So I'm excited to go to this place because you're going to think I'm crazy, but I've considered getting into the appliance business for a long time. And I heard he does that very, very well. So I'm excited to see his operation.
Yeah, they crush it. Well, come on, Dave. You're making him go to Illinois in the winter, though? I mean, I
think they're next. I'm very bad about like schedules and stuff, but I want to say he's either next or I think he is next. Yeah.
On one of those visits, I'll close it out with this. On one of those visits to Performance Group locations, what's something you picked up? Maybe one or two things you're like, oh, this is good.
Oh, man. That's like put me on the spot. I have to look back. I mean, there's a lot of, you get a lot of, it's the little things that you get from them that you like. It's the little signage things. Like I remember in Virginia Furniture Mart had something up in their warehouse. I took a picture of it. Oh my God, why am I blinking out what it was? It's always the little things. It's never like this big gigantic things. It's always these little things that every retailer does something a little bit different. And they have these little things that you're like, how do I not think of that? That's pretty easy.
I think about that almost like I remember writing a master's thesis, and the analogy works there because it's like you're gathering all these inputs, like these little inputs. You're doing research, you're talking to people, you're going to the library, you're looking on the internet, and you're gathering just little bits and pieces here and there. And then you put it into something meaningful. Like you then make it your own, or you map it to your environment in a way that's like, okay, we can make this work here. But you're always gathering up those inputs and those ideas so you can make them your own.
I will tell you, after everybody left, I got multiple retailers that were here a few weeks ago told me, they're just shocked at the business we do out of our warehouse. So I literally, the next day, was looking for a new warehouse.
Because you wanted to have more inventory, more stock.
No, because they're like, man, I mean, we are very have a very good, I have a clean operation. I just have a lot of guys that are working for me that have been doing this a lot longer than me, and they're very good at it. But we're going to outgrow our warehouse at some point. And they all said that, like a bunch of them said it to me as we were leaving, like, hey, you got to get a bigger warehouse. I'm like, yeah, I know. I only bought that warehouse 4 years ago.
How many square feet is it?
It's 78.8, so it's 80,000. But yeah, I need more doors.
How much do you report how much revenue you do?
Yeah, we're in the mid 50s. We might hit, we're going to be in the mid 50s this year, like somewhere in the, but I think we're going to go like next year with Henrietta. I think we're going to pop up in the high 60s or into the 70s, something like that. So
let's go.
So it is going to stress out our warehouse a little bit. Do
you have a goal of like, hey, this is from a revenue standpoint what we want to do as a company?
Not really. I just kind of like, if the right real estate comes along in the right markets and I feel like I can make it work, then I'm probably I'll look at it. I mean, because like New Hampshire, I bought that building. It's a wonderful building. It's so close to the water. Like it'll never go bad ever. Like it can never go bad. It's so close to Lake Winnipesaukee. And then Henrietta, it's like in the busiest shopping area of all of Rochester, and it came with 9 acres of land. Like I'm like, this isn't gonna go bad either. So that's kind of like what drives some of my decision making. So that's what we'll look at. I don't have like an end goal, like a number in my head. I'm still young enough where I need to work. So if I get tired of it, then
You're not 45 yet, are you?
No, I am. I'm 47.
I thought you were going to retire at 45 like mom.
No. I had my kids much later than my mother.
Michael Fiacco, owner of Old Brick and laundromats and real estate. So good to have you here on the FAM podcast. If people wanted to get connected to you, maybe on LinkedIn, is that the best spot?
Yeah, that's probably the best spot. I mean, I'm not on Facebook. I barely check my LinkedIn, but I check it a little bit. LinkedIn drives me a little crazy because you get like I don't even know who's real on there half the time. So, but I'm on there.
We're entering the world where who knows what is real. Well, this has been a real conversation and really fun. I really enjoyed it, and look forward to staying in touch. Congrats on your next adventure here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And be sure to subscribe. Go to thefam.com. You can hop on our newsletter and never miss a great episode with people like Michael with Old Brick and many others. And then go to Apple, Spotify, and be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you here every Monday on the FAM podcast.